All right, we're diving deep today into something we all deal with every single day.
Let me guess.
You got it. Nutrition. But, and here's the catch, we're going beyond the surface.
Deeper than just like what's good and what's bad.
Exactly. We're going to break it down like to the nuts and bolts.
Building blocks. I like it.
Exactly. You shared some really cool excerpts all about building a healthy, balanced diet, right? And we're going to use those as our roadmap.
Sounds good to me.
So by the end of this, you'll walk away with a crystal clear picture of what your body actually needs to truly thrive.
No more fad diets.
Nope, just pure, solid knowledge. And a little fun along the way, of course.
Always.
Now, I was looking through these excerpts, right?
Yeah.
And one thing really caught my eye. This whole idea of different types of nutrients working together.
Like a team.
More like game. A finely tuned machine. Each piece with a specific job.
I see where you're going with this.
And it's way more complex than just counting calories, don't you think?
Absolutely. Calories are just one piece of the puzzle. You're right. It's about understanding the roles of each player in this intricate system.
Bingo. And speaking of roles, these excerpts kick things off with what they call the energy trio.
Catchy.
Right. It's all about macronutrients.
Okay, so we're talking about carbs, proteins, and fats.
The big three. The ones that always seem to be in the headlines.
Right. But sometimes I feel like people toss those terms around without really grasping what they actually do in the body.
It's true. Like, everyone knows protein is good for you.
Yeah.
But why? What's it actually doing?
That's what we're here to uncover. And, you know, what's interesting is that you even highlighted a section about the optimal macronutrient ratio for endurance training.
Yeah, it's something I've been meaning to get a better handle on. Like, what should I be eating to fuel those long runs?
That's key, because the ideal ratio actually changes depending on your goals.
So it's not one size fits all.
Nope. For endurance training specifically, the text suggests a higher percentage of carbohydrates.
Makes sense. Carbs are pure energy.
Right. They're the primary fuel source for sustained activity. Think of it like loading up your energy reserves before a long journey.
Fueling up the tank. Got it.
It even mentions a technique called carb loading.
Carb loading. I thought that was just for, like, ultra-marathoners running across deserts.
It used to be, but it's becoming more mainstream, even for other types of endurance activities.
So not just for marathoners anymore.
Exactly. So we've got carbs as our primary fuel, especially for endurance.
Check. What about protein and fat, then? Fat especially seems to get demonized a lot.
Yeah, fat has gotten a bad rap, but the text actually highlights the importance of healthy fats for hormone production, cell function, and even insulation.
Insulation.
Keeps you warm. But seriously, for endurance training, it actually recommends a moderate fat intake for satiety and long-term energy release.
Ah, so it's not just about cutting it out completely.
Nope. Balance is key. And as for protein, it's all about providing those building blocks. Think muscle repair, tissue growth, essential for recovery after those long workouts you're into.
Especially those intense ones. So each macronutrient has this specific role. Kind of
like instruments in an orchestra?
Yes. Each section playing its part to create a harmonious whole. Love that analogy. But we can't forget about the other essential players.
The supporting cast.
You got it. These excerpts also talk about micronutrients, those vitamins and minerals we hear so much about. But honestly, I'm a little fuzzy on why they matter so much, especially since we need them in smaller amounts.
It's all about the impact they have on those larger processes. For example, the text uses the example of iron.
Oh, yeah. Iron.
It's crucial for red blood cell production and for transporting oxygen throughout your body. And think about it, oxygen is what fuels our muscles during exercise. So without enough iron, your performance can really suffer.
Wow, I never connected it like that before. So it's not just about eating enough food in general.
Right.
It's about getting the right balance of nutrients, the right types, to make sure everything's working as it should. Okay, I have to ask about one thing we all know we need, but maybe take for granted: water. I mean, everyone knows dehydration is bad.
Dehydration is the worst.
But the text goes deep on why it's so important. It's almost like water is the unsung hero of the body, wouldn't you say?
It really is. The excerpts list so many of its functions: temperature regulation, nutrient transport, waste removal. It's practically involved in every single bodily process.
Wow.
And for athletes like you, proper hydration is even more crucial. Imagine this. You're trying to run a race, but your car is overheating, and it can't get rid of its exhaust fumes.
Okay, that's a pretty vivid image.
It paints the picture, right?
And put things in perspective.
So to recap, We've got our macronutrients fueling the engine, our micronutrients keeping everything running smoothly, and water making sure the whole system stays cool and clean. It's actually amazing how it all comes together.
It is. It's like this perfectly designed system. And when one piece is off,
Yeah.
the whole thing can sputter.
Exactly. And the great thing is, by understanding these basic building blocks, you're empowered to make informed choices about what you consume.
No more blindly following the latest fad diet.
Right. It's about seeing your diet not just as fuel, but as a way to support every aspect of your health and performance.
Absolutely. So whether you're training for a marathon or just trying to live your healthiest life, remember to think about those building blocks. Macronutrients for fuel and structure, micronutrients for those behind-the-scenes processes, and water keeping everything running smoothly.
Can't forget the water.
Never. Now, here's a question for you to ponder as you continue your deep dive into nutrition. Knowing all this, how can you tweak your current diet? Just small changes, maybe, to make sure you're getting the optimal amounts of each building block.
Food for thought.
Right. Keep exploring, keep learning, and stay hydrated out there.
You too.